we will list our hotels now that we completed working with the forms. And the first thing is to like fetch data from the database using Prisma. So let's jump into our code. We'll go to actions, then here we had get hotel by ID. So we will add another file and we'll say get hotels.ts. Right here we will get all our hotels. So let's create this function, export const get hotels to be equal to an async function. We invoke it, and right here we will have some stuff. Here I'll have const hotels, and we'll set this to be equal to await, and we'll say prisma db dot hotel, then here dot find many. We will invoke that, and right here we can say include full colon, here I'll say rooms full colon true. So we get a hotel together with its rooms. Then we make sure to import prisma db. Now it's a good thing to wrap these with try and catch block. So I'll say try, and for try we'll move this part to be inside our try, and right here for catch we can first log the error to the console. So I'll say console.log of error, and right here we can throw a new error just like that. Very nice. So here you can say the error is of type any. Then down here we return our hotels. So return hotels just like that. Later on we will be adding the filter for location, and also we will be implementing the search. And what we will be doing to filter out our data depending on location and search is to pass some search params. So here we will be receiving some search params later on, and we'll be receiving the title of a hotel. So this will be a string. Then we'll be able to pass the country, which will be a string. We'll be able to pass the state, which will be a string. We will be able to pass the city, which will be a string. Once we get our search params, we can be able to destructure all those right here. So I'll say const I destructure the title, we'll get the country, we'll get the state, we'll get the city, and all these will be coming from our search params object. Now we can use this to filter out our hotels depending on the title, country, state, and city. So in here, in this object, we'll just say where. Right here we pass an object. In here we'll say where title full colon. You can say either search to be title just like that, or you can use contains to be title. Okay, you can choose any of those and test to see which one works best for you. Then we'll say right here country, comma, state, comma, city. So where country is country, where state is state, where city is city. So title is not exact, so we say contain. So if we type part of the title, it will show, but these will have to be the exact values. So these, where, and all these are for filter and search functionality. But for just getting all the hotels, you just say hotels await prisma db.hotel.findMany. And if you want it to have rooms, you say include rooms, and you just return. So now that is our method, they all function. So I'll go ahead and save. Now, where will we list our hotel? At the home page. Now our home page is at app, then page. This is our home page. We can remove everything that we had before. Before our return statement, we'll be able to say const hotels to be equal to, we await get hotels, and we invoke it. Then right here we'll be able to pass our search params. We will receive search params right here as an object search params, and they will be of type right here home props. Let's go ahead and define these home props. I'll add an interface, and we'll say home props will be having the search params full colon, and right here we'll have the title, which will be a string. We'll be having the country, which will be a string. We'll be having the state, which will be a string. We'll be having the city, which will be a string. Okay, very nice. Now we come right here, we make sure to import get hotels from our actions. Let's remove this button. Then because we use await here, we must mark this function as an async function. So this is a regular function and not an arrow function. So how we can do it, we'll say export default right here. We'll say async, just like that. Okay, so we have our hotels here, and we can check if they actually exist. So if we don't have the hotels, we will return a div here. No hotels found. Otherwise, right here we'll go ahead and list the hotels. So add components hotel. I'll add a new file, and we can call this hotel list.tsx. We'll create the new component right here, stateless functional component hotel list, and right here is where we'll actually go ahead and map through our hotels. So let's come right here, and what we will do, we'll just pass our hotel list. Okay, this hotel list component will receive our hotels, but first of all we can import it. So right here, say hotels will be equal to hotels, just like that. So it's not aware that it's supposed to receive anything, that's why we have that error. So we come to hotel list component, we will say right here that we will receive the hotels prop. We add its type, so hotels of type hotel with rooms. We can import that from add hotel form. We can make this to be a div, just like that. We'll add a class name. We'll display grid hyphen course hyphen 1. This will be for the very small screens like the mobile phone. Then for a bit larger screen, so small screen and larger, above small screen basically, we'll say grid course to be 2, and for large screens we'll say grid course to be 3. Then we can have a gap along the x-axis of 8, and I'll have a gap along the y-axis of 12. Then right here I'll have margin to the top of 4. Okay, so here we'll have hotels.map, and we invoke that. Here we'll receive a hotel, and right here I have a div, and let's close it like that. Div property map does not exist on type hotel with rooms. Okay, this is a single hotel. We should make this to be an array, okay, so that we are able to do this. So here we receive the hotel, then the div here will set the key to be hotel.id. So here we are mapping through the hotels. We receive a single hotel at a time, and we pass this div. So right here we can create a hotel card, okay, hotel card, which will basically receive a single hotel, and we'll set that to be hotel. We go ahead and close it. We don't have this card, so let's create it right here at hotel folder. we'll say hotel. Okay, what's not happening? Hotel card dot tsx, status functional component, and we have our hotel card. Very nice. Right here, let's go ahead and show React fragments. We come back to hotel list and we bring in our hotel card, just like that. We go to hotel card. Since here we don't have any state or on-click events, I didn't mark this component as a client component. But for hotel card, since I think we'll be having an on-click event, we can start by marking this as a use client, to say that this is a client component. So we should receive the prop here, which is the hotel, and we should add its type. So right here we'll say the hotel of type hotel with rooms. We bring that from our add hotel form and we save. Now you see the error here have disappeared, and we can go ahead and just close that file, close that page, and basically we will work on this card now. Okay, to begin with, we can have a div here. We will be having an on-click event, and later on we will be listing this card. Also, we'll be using it again at our my hotels. So we'll be using it in two places. So I want to perform a check and see if we are in that my hotel page. If not, then we'll push the user to more details. Else, we'll push the user to the edit form whenever they click it. So at that particular page, we'll be adding like the edit button so that we can be able to edit a hotel. Okay, so basically let's come right here and const path name to be equal to use path name, and we invoke it. Const is my hotels to be equal to, we make use of this path name dot includes, and we'll check if we have my hotels at the URL. So if it's there, that means that we are not at the home page, therefore we will do something different. Right here, say on click, and now right here we'll say, are we on my hotels? If we are not on that page, we'll go ahead and right here say router, but we don't have this router. Let's just create it. So we'll say const, I don't know why I keep messing the const spelling. So const router will be equal to use router. Make sure it's from next navigation and you invoke it. So right here now we have router dot push, and we will invoke that. We use backtick, and we'll take the user to stroke hotel hyphen details, and then stroke we include its ID right here. So we'll say hotel dot ID. Now while this is complaining, we should pass an arrow function that returns that. So here just include this and an arrow there. Very nice. So that is our parent div, like that. It will obviously have some classes. One thing about Shadcn, you see the way we call it Shadcn. This cn is a function, and we can basically use it to merge our tailwind classes. That is what we will use actually now. And if we go to libs at utils, you'll see we have this cn function, and it is making use of tailwind merge. So it just helps us to merge the tailwind classes, and also you can override some class names. You know, with Tailwind CSS, it's kind of annoying when it comes to overriding the class names. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You can't really know when it works and not. But this Tailwind merge can help us, and this particular function can help us to override some classes. So basically, let me maybe type something here, and come back to our project So we should at least see one listed here because we have one hotel. So what I want is whenever I hover over this, I'll be able to click it. So we'll change the cursor to pointer, and you can see it's taking us to more details about the hotel, but we don't have that page, so we get 404. But you can see here, I will change the cursor pointer here to be pointer whenever we are at this page, and whenever we are at hotel details to be just like this, okay? And we'll be adding a button where we can actually click to go to the edit page. So I just want to teach you about this cn function. That's why I just go into too much details. I didn't have to. But right here, basically, we'll be having a class name, and we include these curly brackets. Then we will use cn function from that libs folder, and here we invoke it. And now right here, we can be able to merge the different class names, okay? And also have conditional renders. So basically, we will list our class names normally. Right here, I'll say call hyphen span of 1, and then we'll have a cursor here of a pointer, and we can add some hover effect. So I'll say transition, and then we'll have hover to be scale, then hyphen 105, like that. So that will add the hover effect. So this is the first class name. If you want to merge another one, you just include a comma. And now right here, you can merge, okay? You can override a class name. So first of all, let's save, and you'll see now our cursor here is a pointer. You see, it's that retro hand, but we can override that class. For example, I can say let cursor be default. So if I save now and come, look, we have that hover effect, but also you'll see the cursor have changed to this default cursor there. And we don't want it to override right now. We want it to override only if we are not on this page. So if is my hotels, if that is true, that is when we will override, okay? So I save, and now when I come, it's this way. But when we are at our my hotels, it will be the default. So that's really cool and clean. So this is how you can use this cn function that is available at our libs. It was added automatically by Shadcn. Okay, very nice. Instead of this, we will be having another div. In here, we'll be having two divs, one for the image and another one for the text content. Right here, I'll display them to be side by side. So I'll add a class name. We'll say flex. We'll have a gap of 2. We'll have bg, which will be background, and I'll set this to be 50. Then we'll have a border, and we'll say border hyphen primary stroke 10. Then we'll say round or rounded to be LG. Okay, now in here we'll have an image, so pass image component from next image. Right here we'll have a class name, and we'll say flex of 1, aspect of square, and then overflow of hidden. Then right here I'll say relative. Then right here I'll have a width to be full, h to be 220px. Let's say to 10px. We'll make it to be rounded and large. So here I'll actually say rounded s. So this will only be on the left side, like not all round. Then for this image, we will have some props we will fill. Then we'll say source right here to be hotel.image. Then at the end we'll say alt to be hotel.title. then right here we'll have a class name, and we'll say width to be full and height to be full. Then we'll have object to be cover. So that is the image. So if I save, we should at least see the image right here. It's refreshing, and there we have our image, and you can see it's rounded right here and right here. So it will be smaller once we add the other div, because those div will share the flex. Okay, so here we said flex of 1. So right here, if we add a class name and we say flex of 1, so they'll share, both will share half of the spacing. So now if I save, these will be shorter. It should be. Okay, for some reason it's still wide. Why? Anyway, here I'll say flex. We will flex the content to the column. We will justify between, just like that, and I'll have a height right here of 210 px. Then right here I'll have a gap of 1, padding of 1, padding y of 1, okay, of 2, and text to be small. Right here you have the content. Here let's say a div, we'll say hotel, hotel.title, and let's save and see if the style is coming along. It should now be halfway at least. Okay, it came all the way down here. We must have messed up somewhere. Yeah, this is supposed to be flex, so that's why it was not working the way I want. So let's see now. It should now be on the side. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I'll list it this way, but you can also include these at the bottom, whichever way that you want. So now let's just complete these details right here. So for title, we can make it to be much bigger and bold. So we'll say font to be semi-bold. And by the way, for SEO purposes, you can use a hashtag, which will be much better. A H3 or a H2 will be much better than a div for SEO purposes. Text there will be Excel. We will show the description, a short description, not full. So I'll say hotel.description, and then we will truncate it using substring. We invoke substring, and we'll say from 0 to 45 characters will do, or include this and that. We can add a class name. I'll fade the text a bit, so I'll say text like this to be primary color of 90. Let's save that, and let's see if it truncates the text. So it's at the bottom here, and you can see it's truncating the text. So very nice. I'll have another div now. Here I'll add a class name, and I'll say text to be primary stroke 90. Here I'll add amenity item. We will show the location, so I'll include map pin like that. I'll add a class name. We'll set this to be equal to, I saw like the latest Tyro and CSS have a property called size, yeah, which will combine the two of these. Let me show you. Width is 4, height is 4. So for you, you might have the size prop where you will just say S4, and then you'll not need to use these two. I don't know if we'll see it at the docs. I had not prepared for that. It just popped out right now. So you can just say Tyro in CSS. Then let's look if we have that size. I think it's very nice. It was updated whenever I was on the process of creating this course. So you look, we have now this size, which is really nice. Look, width 0, height 0. You can just say size 0, size 4. Instead of W4, that 4, you'll have size 4. So I don't think it works for me. It's a very pretty retest update. Let's see size. So I might need to, like, update Tailwind CSS in my application, but I won't right now. But for you, I know you might have the latest one, so just use size 4 instead of the 2. So we will have that icon, and then right here we will have the location. We should be able to get the country, we should be able to get the city, and maybe the state. I'll just get the country and the city. So right here I'll say const, and we'll say use location. Now right here we'll be able to say get country by code, like that. And then right here I'll be able to say const country is equal to, we say get country by code, we invoke that, and right here I'll pass the hotel dot country. Remember, we stored the country as a code, so we'll get our country there. Once we get the country, right here we can display the name of the country, so I'll say country dot name. So I'll use the question mark there. Then right here we already stored the city in our database as the city name, so we don't need to call any method. So I'll just say hotel.city. Let's see what we have. Yeah, look, Kenya, Mombasa, nice. Now we need some space, or we can just use a comma. Actually, you can list some of the popular amenities, and I'll do it like that. Looks good to me. So we'll have those two. Let's check. Yeah, the last thing that I'll show down here is the room price for a room in this particular hotel. So we might have different room prices for different rooms, but I'll just go with the first room to have something. You can implement a section where someone chooses to which room price to display at the home page. So you can really extend this application so much. Right here I'll say justify to be between, and right here I'll have a div in here, hotel dot room, and we'll check for the first one. So the thing is, we might not have, so hotel dot rooms, like that. We take the first one dot room price, and we'll say and if that exists, we will go ahead and show two divs right here. So I included these React fragments so that the style that we will add right here applies. So right here I'll have a class name, and we'll say flex and items to be at the center, and we'll have a gap of 1. Then right here I'll say div, and we'll show the room price now. So we'll have hotel dot rooms, then I'll have the room price. We'll have another one, and we'll say right here it's per 24 hours. Here I'll have a class name, and I'll say text is extra small. Then also here we'll have a class name, and for this one I'll say font is semi bold, and text is base. And yeah, this will be it. I would like it to be here at the side, so something is wrong. Yeah, I messed the spelling again here. There we go. So that will be our card. When we click it, it will take us to more details about our hotel. Now, when we are at these, my hotels, we'll be having an edit button right here. So I can just add it right now. So down here, we will check is my hotels end. If that is true, you can see we are already adding a flex right here. We'll be having a button and we'll have an on click, and right here we'll have router.push like that, and we invoke this one. We'll use a backtick, we'll have stroke hotel, money sign, then hotel.id. Now this one will take us to that page where we have our hotel form. We bring in this button from UI. Okay, then what is wrong here? We didn't cross it, so let's cross the button. Actually, we'll do like this, and we'll have edit, then right here I'll say the variant is outline. I save. Now if we are at is my hotels, we'll be able to see it. Right now we don't see it. To test it, we can just say if we are not on my hotels. Let's see how it will look like. It will be like this, and once we click on this one, so when we click it, we'll be able to go to the edit page where we can actually edit the hotel. So I will remove that exclamation mark and I will save. So that is our hotel card, and that is how we can list our hotel. We only see one because we don't have any other, so I can add a new one real quick. So let's say this is the Forest Hotel, then the description, paste, and I create. It's creating, and hotel is created. Now we can add rooms and so on, but we should be able to see it right away, even if we don't have the rooms. I'll just refresh manually here, and we should see it right here. And look, we actually have an error for the room price. So let's go back at the hotel card. Let's also include this one. You can restrict, like showing the hotel from the list if they don't have a room, but I won't restrict. I'll just show all of them, and there we go. We have now this Forest Hotel, and it doesn't show the price right there. So basically you can see we have now this list, which is very very responsive. So if we go to smaller screens, you see it's responsive, which is nice. So if we go to a mobile phone like this, it will look like this. Yeah, that is the list. Now next, let's cover more details about a hotel.